Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. As usual, I am your host, Selassie Fiawe. Today we're going to listen to an interview from legendary coach and former coach of the Ghana Black Stars and the Ghana Black Starlets. He won our first ever World Cup at the Under-17 World Cup for us. He is in the person of Otto Pfister. If you haven't watched the Under-17 World Cup tournament that Ghana participated in, you can watch the video up here. Now, Otto Pfister basically in this interview with CITI Sports was talking about his time and his tenure with the Ghana Black Stars. He talked about players like Nii Lamptey. He also talked about how Nii Lamptey did not have potential because he was dealing with very, very bad agents. He also talked about his best players he has worked with and called Abedi Pele a genius. Reasons why you will hear from the man himself in this interview. He also talked about what Ghana needs to do to win the AFCON after so long we have been in the drought with the AFCON. We're concerned with the AFCON. We have not won the AFCON in over close to 40 years. And he talked about what we can do to do that, to change that. And also he talked about CK Akonnor and what he has coached CK Akonnor before. Face is a fine gentleman, and what CK Akonnor will have to do to be the best coach ever for the Black Stars, or to be successful as the coach of the Ghana Black Stars. We'll have a listen to the man himself, Otto Pfister, and what he had to say in this interview with CITI Sports. As usual, if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates.
Nii Lamptey, this was a boy terrible, but he had so bad chance in his life, and he was in the hand of agents, of not correctly agents, because still today I cannot believe he have not a big career come Anthony Yeboah or come Abedi Pele or Tony Bafo or Ali Ibrahim. I don't know.
So you think that bad agents did that to him?
The bad agents. Can you believe this? He make in his life 14 transfers. People bring him to China, down to Germany in second division, down to Argentina, to Union Santa Fe. I don't know. That he play in all countries in the world. In not one team he can really side, and he have this private problem. You know, a child from him died, and this problem with his family. This is a very, very tragic story for me, you know, because Nii Lamptey, FIFA technical committee make him he was the best scorer in the Youth World Cup, and FIFA make him best youth player in the world. And then after this, he missed it total his career. Okay. He was in the hand of agents, only these money thinkers. I hate all agents in the world. Myself, I have never made a contract with the agent. Someone, the agent phoned me, I stopped direct my telephone. This make me very, very wrong. The story from Nii Lamptey.
Okay. I mean, Otto, Ghana has not won the AFCON since 1982. You yourself, you have tried. You took the team to the final. We lost 92. Then we went to the final 2010. We lost again. Then we went to the final again 2015 against Cote d'Ivoire. Penalties. Then we lost again. What are we doing wrong?
I don't know. That's very difficult. Maybe the juju man is maybe not strong. Is also possible. I don't know. That is. I think even with this after me, with all those big players, with Prince Boateng, with Michael Essien. After my time was also big players. You know, I don't know. It's very difficult to explain.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also a question from organization, from the preparation. You know, always the problems with the clubs, with the European clubs, who brings the player not free for preparation as the players come in last time. I remember we play a game against Algeria in Ghana. Then the day of the game in the morning, Tony Yeboah, Tony Bafo and Abedi Pele came with a special aircraft from Paris to play. I mean, all these organization problems before a tournament or before a game That is also in Ghana in '92, for example. We was in a preparation 1 week in Portugal. And then we have the half of team come in the last minute. All this we need. If a football team in general, not only Ghana, still in Africa, the players. We have a lot of players, world-class players in this continent, but the preparation and organization before the game is not good. Sometimes I have terrible stories. Sometimes with Cameroon, the team strike, don't play because somebody shops money from the team, you know, and the bonus was not good. I don't know. All this problem, and I'm sure the day when Africa have the same condition, the same infrastructure also, like in Europe, then a team can win even the World Cup. Wow. With all these problems, is very, very difficult. Players is not the problem, you know. A player make never a problem.
Yeah.
In my experience, a big player make never a problem, you know. The problem is organization, infrastructure, medical side is also very important, you know. If a player have an injury, it's analyzed. All this, what is happening in the Greek teams in professional football, like in Barcelona, Manchester City, Bayern Munich, or I don't know, Paris Saint-Germain. If we have this in Africa, this 100% professional thinking, and this day, Ghana can win the African Cup, and the African team can win the World Cup.
Okay.
But if all this condition is not happening, then it's very difficult.
I've coached in, as I said the other time, you've coached in Africa for a very, very long time, obviously. You coach Samuel Eto'o, you coach Abedi Pele. I mean, who would you say is the most talented African player you have ever coached?
You think Samuel Eto'o and Abedi Pele, absolute on top. But you cannot say Abedi is better like Eto'o or Eto'o is better like Abedi, because it's not the same position. Samuel Eto'o was a top striker, and this time he was one of the best striker in the world. He won 2 times the Champions League, 1 time with Barcelona, 1 time with Inter Milan, and Abedi Pele win also the Champions League with Marseille. But Abedi Pele, for me, in his position, he was for me a genius. You know, Abedi Pele, he was so strong in skill. He have skills. He have anticipation. He can score it. He was a true leader. For me, in this time, he was one of the best playmaker in the world. You know, maybe you cannot tell Eto'o is better like Abedi, because it's a different position. You know, that is one of the top players I handle. Then also after this, I will say I handle also Tony Yeboah, absolute top player. Bafo, absolute top player. And then in my time, also before, was Opokunti. He was also in the squad. He was in the end of the career. In his time, I think he was also one of the best player in the world. One time I was in his house, we drink a coffee, and he juggled me 2 balls in the same time. And nobody can do it in whole Africa.
Wow.
This is for me a wonder player.
Wow, amazing. Listen, CK Akonnor, a player that you coached, I believe, is the new head coach of the Black Stars. You look at him and his qualities that he has. What do you think he needs to do to succeed with the national team here?
Yeah, he have to. This is very simple, because first, in Ghana it's not easy coaching, because I don't know. We have 20 million coaches. Every Ghanaian is a coach. You know, everybody has his idea. You have to be very strong in the selection. And don't thinking clans. You know, if you think the 11 best players for Ghana is Ashanti, you have to select the 11 Ashanti players. If he's thinking the best 11 from Ghana came from Accra, you have to have to select the 11 players from Accra, not thinking this. And then very difficult for him is control the performance from the player outside, you know. He have to be permanent in contact with the coaches in Europe, in France, in Germany, in England, I don't know where. That is a big problem, you know. And then it's not easy for a coach. And then he have experience. He play in Fortuna Cologne. He play in Wolfsburg. He play in Germany. He have this professional know-how. But you have to give him free hands. You know, in Ghana sometimes people like going into the selection. I remember when I selected, for example, when I selected the squad Scarlets 91, because in the last minute I put Sami Kufo inside. And then some people from Accra tell me, no, it's not possible. He's very young. I fight even with one journalist. I take him in, and then after this, he can big player in Germany. You know, he have to be free from this. He have to realize his own idea. Then it's not problem. You know, and then he have to fight for the condition. That is also very difficult. The players have coming on time, so money for the player have to be clear. So hotel, training camp, all this is a question of coach, you know. And then he need a good manager for this administration things, you know. When I was in Ghana, I was practical. I was practical alone, you know. You have to help the coach, stand behind him. You know, in Africa, I don't know how many coaches after me handle Ghana. I don't know, maybe 50 or 20, I don't know. If he lost the game, each time people is not happy, and then we change the coach directly like T-shirts. You have to give him confidence, then he can doing something. Because he is a very nice character, no problem.
So you heard from the man himself, Otto Pfister there. He said Abedi Pele used juggle two balls at the same time, and no one in Africa can do that. So Abedi Pele is the best player he has worked with from Africa. He also talked about what CK Akonnor needs to do. He says in Ghana here, everyone is a coach. I think the man really knows the country pretty well. You heard what he talked about, the clan issue, the tribal issues. It has been something that has been persisting for so long. For him to be able to mention it, he last coached the Black Stars in 1992. So you can imagine how these issues have been persisting till this time. He also talked about how the unfortunate incident of Nii Lamptey's agent, and so much more. What did you learn? What were you surprised about? Do you agree with him on what he said about how we can earn our AFCON case? He talked about the organization in most African countries not being the best or the most optimal. He also talked about CK Akonnor living and doing what he feels is right, not listening to outsiders. He said this country, there are so many coaches, over 31 million coaches as pertaining to the population in the country. Everyone will have an opinion, but as the coach, you have to stand firm and know what you're about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box on what he had said in this lengthy interview. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.